Hey guys, Hector from 𝗵𝗲 Kettlebell Club. Just want to share with you one of our cues that we use whenever we have people that come in and they're having a hard time finding their hinge. As we know, the kettlebell swing and the kettlebell deadlift is based off of the sumo deadlift. And the hinge is not a squat. They're two different patterns. So whenever we deadlift a kettlebell and eventually leading the swing in a kettlebell, we want to make sure that the shins are near vertical. Okay, we want to keep them as vertical as possible, but we will tend to get some shift forward. But sometimes whenever we get some of our members that come in and they start a program with us, and they have this squatty type deadlift, which eventually they will also have a squatty type swing. Okay, if you think of a swing on a park goes back and forth like a pendulum. It doesn't go up and down. So our kettlebell swing is supposed to go back and forth as well. Okay? So one of the things we use to teach that near vertical tibia is we use a bench. And we place their knees pretty much right in front of the bench. So this is not going to allow them to go down. This is going to force them to fold back from the hip. Okay? Trying not to touch the bench with their knees. Okay? And from here, we work on their hip extension. Okay? Then as they get the hang of that, we'll put the bell right back by the heels. Okay? We'll have them hinge back, keeping the chest up, hands on the bell, and then we'll have them perform a deadlift. Back down. And we'll take them through several repetitions that way. The bench works twofold. For one, it helps us find that near vertical shin, forces us to sit back into the hips, which is going to pre-stretch the hamstrings and the glutes. Okay. Another thing it does is it corrects sometimes whenever we do deadlift the kettlebell the right way, but sometimes we'll tend to put the bell back on the ground towards the ball of the foot, which will start to shift our weight forward. We want to keep our weight around the middle of the foot towards the back of the heel, right in between there. We don't want to be on the balls of our feet. So sometimes we will have a nice hinge, but you can see all this gap I have in between myself and the bell. I want to be able to decrease that gap by placing the kettlebell back towards my heels. So you can see I'm able to keep a nice tight lat connection through the underpit, keep a tall chest, and then I'm able to pull. But sometimes what will happen is we do our first pull, and then on the next one, we put the bell towards the balls of the feet, and our weight will start to shift forward. So the bench works twofold. It will teach us to not let the knee shift forward and force us to hinge, but at the top of the deadlift, when we pull, if they go straight down towards the balls of the feet, the bell will stop and the bench will catch it. So now they're forced to feed the bell straight back through the groin, back towards the heel. So instead of going straight down, it forces them to sit back, put the bell back towards the back of the heels. That way our weight stays towards the middle of the foot, towards the middle of the foot to the back of the heel. And we're able to keep that tight connection. Give this a try, let me know what you think. Again, it helps to keep that vertical tibia near vertical. It doesn't allow the knees to pitch forward because the bench will give us that automatic feedback. And two, it forces us to feed the bell straight back, giving us a good stretch of the hamstrings and the glutes. If you have any questions or have any comments or suggestions, leave them in a comment below. Have a great day.